Our United States Department of Conservation and Natural Resources provide the best practices to citizens and to our cities. North Carolina Forester Mark Bost speaks to these imperative practices in the face of our changing climate.
There's more and more frequency of natural disasters, and the storms and events that seem to happen now seem to be more frequent and a lot larger in scale than they used to be. And so we do want to do everything we can when we're working with municipalities and planning development to make sure that they are taking good care of the trees that they manage and keeping those trees really healthy, which helps make them more resilient to wind and ice damage. We want to help them make sure that if they're doing planting projects, that they're selecting the appropriate species of tree for the appropriate site and planting the appropriate species on the appropriate soil types so that those trees can grow and be healthy and be more resilient. Bring up the topic of a tree protection ordinance or a development ordinance of any type. There's always people that are opposed to any type of government input into how a developer does something or to how a city or a municipality plans something. But what we see is that if you don't have something in place like an ordinance to address certain issues, that you see things being done that are totally inappropriate, like trees being removed that don't need to be removed, or trees trying to be left in places that aren't properly protected. Like there's a good buffer of trees that a city or a developer wants to leave in between a development and a road or a development and an adjacent piece of property, but they do so much soil disturbance close to that buffer of trees that 3 or 4 or 5 years later we start to see those trees slowly decline and die because their feeder roots were damaged. So what ordinances do is they put criteria in place to help make sure that protections that are done actually work.